Alright, we're back with another update on Einhander V2, and this is a Fractal Torrent standard size one, the original. So you got the two big 200mm fans in the front. The compact also has that. But instead of just two 140s in the bottom, three 140s in the bottom. And instead of a 120 in the back, which can be modded to a 140, you have a native 140mm mount. So what is this about? Well, in this case, there's a little... King is going crazy. Hey, King, what's up? What are you doing, dude? There's a little RGB strip right here. And if you're not one to use this, like say if you don't have RGB, like hit by the non-RGB case, right? You know, unlike this one where we bought it to come with all the RGB fans, because that is by far the better deal. If you want RGB fans, the Fractal ones are pretty good. Maybe not as good as the Be Quiets here, you know, but they're decent. I went with Be Quiet because of the tower cooler, so it's going to be Be Quiet here, and then the rest is Fractal. It would cost you far, far more, especially with those big boys in front, to replace them than just to buy them with the case. Either if you go RGB or not. Well, if you're not going RGB, my recommendation is this strip here is this right here. Just take it out. What there is there are two screws. Let me hit it with my headlamp here. There are two screws on each end, right? So if you don't have the RGB version of the case, just unscrew the strip and you don't have to worry about that. But that is how the strip comes, with the cable going up. And then they pull it taut, like over here, and it's just, why do that? See, it's up. Why not just take this? You got this whole big gap here. The power supply sits up a little bit. Why not just unscrew it and flip it like that, right? And then we'll actually route it along this back edge, down the back here, and over to our control box. Or you could run it into here to your RGB header, if that's what you prefer. So I'm going to be doing that shortly. It's really easy. These are just two screws right there. I zipped them out using the snap-on screwdriver over there, and I'll zip them right back in, same way they came out. Hey, no. Yes, no. Alright, so here's how it looks now. Is instead of the cable coming up here, I don't know why you would do that. By the way, this is actually a nice place to sneak in some cable management. This little little nook there. King, no, stop that. Stop that. He's going after our RGB cable here. And what you can do is you gotta be careful of this little screw right there. I can boom, screw, boom, screw. Watch out for that little guy. See, it gets real close. You don't want that to penetrate the wire. But if you are going to use this RGB strip, just flip it. And then run your cable down the back here. Don't keep it vertical like this. I don't know if it'll clear because this rubber stand is only so high. What you'll want to do is run it flat again so that it runs flat along the entire area, and then it just pops out the back here. That is way clear, way more clean than having this little notch right here. That's why there's a little notch right there. That's where the cable is supposed to come out, right? But then it goes up. Why? Why? That's much cleaner. And you have room because of the standoffs for the power supply. I will prove that momentarily by putting the power supply in. We're gonna grab our new yellow Tuck XL and find our power supply. 80 plus GX 1300 Prime. GX is gold rating. Prime is their highest end line. That may have changed somewhat because now they have their Vertex line, which may or may not have replaced it. I know the Vertex is ATX 3.0 PCI Express Gen 5 and comes with 12 volt high power. So that might be the better way to go. That wasn't out, or it wasn't readily available, I guess, when we ordered this. A close friend of mine, you've seen him, Kai, we've helped him rebuild a system before, and sent cobble out to him, original cobble, when he needed a system. He actually picked up the Vertex 1000, just so he has room to grow, because he's going from a Antec Signature 650. That baby's old. But just shows how if you buy a good power supply, it'll last you. That might be where I go now, but in this case, we really only needed a 1000 watt, and you're like, well, then why do you have a 1300 watt? Same price. Same sort of thing we ran into with Payton's build. I think that's what we're doing now is polychrome Na instead of it used to be monochroma because it was black with RGB. It's now just black, water cooled, black on black on black on black, the way everything should be. But same thing happened there. Is he only needs a 1000 watt, or should only need a 1000 watt. But at least at that time, the only way that we could guarantee having the 12 volt high power and compatibility was going up to the 1300 watts. Yeah, so and that was a bit different though, because that was titanium rated versus gold. Traditionally, this would end up being it's gold rated in Seasonic terms. This would probably then qualify for their 1000 watt. I'm trying to peel the stickers off here. Right there, what are you doing, dude? Gotta go in every box, you know? Holy shit, I understand, but my God. Yep, I'm not surprised that happened, King. He flipped over the box and fell out. The 1300 and 1600 watt designs are not like that one. For the titanium rated ones. Holy shit, cat! Yeah, you're literally making a mess of stuff. It's all because I'm making this video for you guys, and I'm not giving him attention. Remember that. Yeah, so this would be, if this is a 1300 gold, it'd be a 1000 watt prime and a 850 watt, or say not prime, platinum. It'd be a 1000 watt platinum, and then it would be an 850 watt titanium. That's generally how, well, not only Seasonic, but a lot of power supply brands will do, is because they can make with the same power supply design, they can make more power. Like, say if you design the high-end one first, and that's why I think why the GX came out later, Prime GX that is. Originally it was Prime Platinum, then later on they came out with the Prime Titanium, once everybody was kind of doing titanium rated power supplies. I'm running a Prime Platinum 1300 watt because I bought it during Corona-chan, during the mining boom. And what that means is that I couldn't, the Platinum 1300 watt was already so hard to get and so expensive, I couldn't afford a titanium. And realistically, I don't even know if I need a 1300 watt nowadays. Holy crap. King Arthur, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing? So I gotta flatten out that cable and get this guy screwed in. King Arthur. Yeah, what are you doing? Alright, so how do you think I know that this is not binding up anywhere under there? Watch this. You can move it. That's exactly what we want. It's just trapped between the little foot, that's right there, and the front of the power supply. Now this probably will never have to come out again because look at, this is one big advantage of the Torrent line. The top pops off. By the way, do not carry it from the top. There is a plastic piece that goes over this, like a nice shroud. In this one, the screws are retained. If you go to the compact, they are not retained. What that means is it's far more likely that people don't put the screws in. So you pick up this nice piece of plastic that's actually pulling it off this way, and you try and pick the computer up with it. I think this thing needs to be like a yellow warning taped, like do not grab. You know, like where you see the yellow with like the red hash marks in it or whatever. Because if you pick up, especially once this computer is done with how heavy it is, by this little flimsy plastic like thing sticking out, it's gonna break off. And or the top is just going to, because it just pulls off this far. Do you see this little notch right there? That is how much notch is holding this on. So just that little nudge the back this way, if those screws aren't in all the way, or if you have the compact and they're not in at all, right there, that's coming down. That's falling. And you're picking that thing up and it's going to go boom. And that's bad. That is bad, 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 bad for a computer. Especially if you got hard drives in there. What are... He stole... a coaster. Okay. I don't even know where you got this coaster from. Somewhere over here? Okay, let's go get your cat toys. Come on, let's go get your cat toys. Let's go, come on. Alright, guys. We've got some cat toys. It looked like only 3 of them. Turns out it was 6. So, they're catnip too. And this guy loves Here's the cute little mouses that... Oh, of course I couldn't get the tail all the way. There we go. This guy loves his catnip, but look at those cute little mice. Look at them. By the way, if you need cleaning up, especially old computers, amazing for wiping down computer cases with this once you strip it out. Otherwise, taking off permanent marker, anything cleaning up for... Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? This what you want? Come on, let's go. Come in. There we go. Yeah, you got cat toys now. I don't know what you did with all your other cat toys. But does that matter? No, right? Right, Knizer? Look at him disembody the bubble, that mousey there. Yeah, King, what are you doing? Huh? Alright, so I think I'm going to screw this in and we're going to call it quits. But that's the trick I have for putting in the RGB strip over here. You can make it look much, much nicer than they have it, because they would have had a wire going up here. You can use this entire cavity right there for extra cables. Like say if you just need a single Molex, jam the extras back there or something like that. Bundling up here too is very useful, because then you can get a straight run from here into there. Super duper nice. The only thing you have to be very, very aware of, like I was saying, is top is plastic. It is held on by 2 screws into sheet metal. Do not lift it by that. Bad. Where do you lift it from? I would grab here. See right there? That is a hard piece of the chassis right there. Top of the I/O. Worst case, you can go a little bit lower. Top of the PCI Express. So my last question to you guys on this is going to be in, out. I'm thinking to balance this airflow, but yes, there's a lot of venting on the back. I'm probably not going to put this into hybrid mode, and normally I would for noise. But I think I'm going to leave it to hybrid mode off, right here, which that's hybrid mode on. Or is it the other way around now? Hybrid mode off, which is in. Basically, that's turn the fan on, is what that is. So what that's going to do is that's going to force this top power supply here to act as an additional exhaust. Though, it also might not be good, right? Because we have a tower cooler with push-pull fans pulling it all this way. So let me know what you guys would you guys, for noise, leave this in hybrid mode? Or would you maybe leave it in noise so it doesn't disrupt the airflow for the heatsink? Theoretically, though, this could be helping with VRMs, pulling heat away from that. Also, it would balance the airflow a bit from being super duper 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 positive to being just a little bit less positive. What way would you go, and why? Hybrid mode, yes. Hybrid mode, no. See you down below. See you in the next one.